Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for the love I've gotten so far for my previous videos. I keep saying that first because if I put up videos and people don't watch it, I'll be sad. But I put up videos and you people watch it and you people comment, you people like it. Thank you, thank you. If you're new to this channel, you are welcome. Here on this channel, I talk about motherhood and health, right? But for the past couple of weeks, I've been talking about motherhood and my own personal pregnancy and motherhood journey. Not really motherhood, just pregnancy journey so far. From the title today, you'd already know that I'm talking about my labor and my delivery and what went down in that process. Just to reinstate or just to put it out there again, pregnancy is not the same thing for everybody. Whatever I face will not be what you face. Whatever you face will definitely not be what I would face. And when I come here to talk about the things about when I come here to talk about what I experienced in my pregnancy journey, I'm just here to let you know that these are the things that I experienced. If you experience such, these are the things that you can do. If there are things, if it works for you, fine. If it doesn't, find your way and work with it. For my second trimester video, you already know that I went into labor. So I didn't go into labor. How do I explain it? My labor and delivery wasn't all that dramatic. Right? It's not like I had contract. You know the way you would see it in movies that the lady would tap her husband, babe, my water just broke. My water did not break. Or babe, I think the baby is coming. I did not think baby was coming. So because I moved to the UK when I was 25 weeks, and I went to the midwife, I registered and all that. But based on their calculation, I don't know what happened, but based on their calculation, they were saying that my baby was, so based on Nigeria calculation, based on what I had in my pregnancy app, I was like 38 weeks. Let's say for example I was 38 weeks, but based on their own calculation I was like 40 weeks, so that was like 2 weeks difference. My last appointment before I went into labor and to give birth to my child, the midwife or the gynecologist, I don't know if it was the midwife or it was the gynecologist, but she was like, I was 40 weeks, meanwhile I was 38 weeks. I mean, we had to do a lot of, I had to bring out the report I got from Nigeria, from my antenatal in Nigeria. They had to recalculate it. We had to check my using that scan thing. They checked again from their own end. It was showing like I was 40 weeks. And for a child to be 40 weeks, there are some things that I expected. Your child's supposed to weigh this is the number of amniotic fluid you're supposed to have. This is what the length of your child's head, the length and the breadth, the femur, the legs, the hands, and all those things, the tummy, the belly, everything. This is what's supposed to be. So it wasn't making sense to them that I was 40 weeks to them and my child was all of this. So the midwife said that, I was going to get induced, but they were going to do something. They were going to have a pelvic scan to see if anything was dilating or if anything was progressing at any point. So that day I had a pelvic scan, and then the midwife that did that, or the nurse, I don't know if it was a nurse or a midwife, I don't know if it was just a normal nurse or if it was a midwife, but the person that did it said, that I wasn't dilated at all, that it wasn't looking like anything, like I wasn't anything. So I was like, so that means I'm not in labor or anything or about to give birth. But she said, because my scan showed that I'm 40 weeks, that a lot of things should happen, that now that she has opened, I think there's a term they call it, now that she has done that I'm supposed to, so what that's supposed to do is to bring me into labor. And this was like Monday, for example. This was on a Monday. Truth be told, you see, it started getting real at this point when they said that I was going to get induced. It started getting real that, oh my God, I'm going to have a child. I'm going to be in labor. I'm going to have all these things, all these things were going to happen. Going back home that day, I packed my box, my hospital bag. I went with this very small travel bag. I packed it, and I was just getting myself mentally ready. I had to go and read up on induction because I didn't read anything about induction. I didn't know anything about induction. But I'm someone that I'd like to have information on what was going to happen before I wasn't just going there you're not telling me, this is what you're trying to do, and I'm asking you questions. I like to have pre-informed information so that when you are doing these things, I'm able to ask like direct questions for such. I think they called to ask if I was in labor. I think they called to ask if I was in labor, and I told them no, and all that. They were like, oh, that I was still on the list, that but that they were going to call me and all those things. But I think they told me to come in for assessment on Friday. That Friday, they told me to come in on assessment on Friday. I went in, they checked baby, they're like, heart rate is fine, baby is fine, everything is fine, I am fine, blood pressure is fine, everything, that I can go home, that if they find a chance that they'll let me know. No, that was on a Thursday. So on Saturday, they called earlier, they called in the morning that, oh, that they still have me on the list, that there is no space yet, but that they'll let me know. Then in the night, at around about 8, 9, they called me and they're like, oh, that am I available to come into the hospital now that there's a bed available? I'm like, oh, let's do this. Let's go. I remember vividly, my sister had made jollof rice that day. She wasn't around. I think they went for something, so she wasn't around. So she had made jollof rice, so I'd eaten. I made sure that I ate. I think I even drank tea safe. I make sure I ate. I drank tea. I was okay because I already read about you getting to the hospital and you forgetting to eat, and I needed energy. I already packed my bag, so I just went to have my bath. And while I was having my bath, I was just praying, I was just rubbing my tummy, and I was making declarations and praying that, oh, that this is it, this is the time, that if God wants the child to come at this time, that it was going to be easy. I made a lot of confessions because I know the power of words, so I was sending those words ahead so that they go ahead of me, so that I go into the hospital and then I walk in the manifestation of the words that I had already spoken. After I had my bath, I dressed up, and so my husband was around, so we went together to the hospital. My sister was not around, so we went together to the hospital. I think it was a vigil or something, so they were already in church, so we had to go and like first drop the key with them, and we had a lot of issues. The Uber that we took, I don't know, we were supposed to actually, they were saying a lot of things, and then I was like, hey, am I supposed to have this child today? I hope this is not a sign that this child is not supposed to come today, and all those things. But I mean, the child is almost 1 year now. How was that a sign after all? So we got to the hospital. They checked us in. They first took us to. So they took us to like a room where we had to. I know at this point I'm supposed to like be showing you the videos of the room and all those things. I'm sorry, I didn't video anything because, like I said, I never knew I was coming back to YouTube. I regret it, and I'm sorry that I did not take any video. So I'm just going to like help you paint a picture in your head, so try and paint this picture together with me. So we got to the room. We're just two in the room. We had a bathroom, we had the toilet and the bathroom, so we were just two like side by side, and I had my part. So I was the only one in the room at first. Then later there was a woman that came in, which she went into labor before I did. No, she didn't go into labor, but she was having contractions before I did. So we got in, they like strapped the whole heart monitor around my belly. I got comfortable. I was just there. I was just on my phone, and I was just, I was trying to like, I was waiting for something to happen, something big. I mean, I've watched videos, I've watched so I was waiting for something big to happen. Maybe I would have contractions, I would hold my husband, squeeze his hand. But at that point, though, I was not having it. I was like, hey, what really is going on? Life came, they explained how the old process was going to be, that they were going to come 3 times, that they were going to put like a gel, they were going to put like a tablet, a gel and all that, then see how it progressed. So like at first they put the heart monitors in to monitor the child to make sure that everything was okay for them to proceed. After they did that, after like an hour or two, after like 1 hour or 2, they came back and said that, that they were going to check again if it was fine. They went again, check if it was dilated. They found out that it was just 1 centimeter. And I'm like, yay, 1 centimeter, and I'm going to 10. Although I wasn't feeling any pain or anything, it was just normal Braxton aches, or at this point we could say it was contraction. So they put in the first procedure, like it was a jelly kind of thing. They put it in to like, so they said that was to like that was to like make the cervix soft, to make it ready to dilate and all that. A couple of hours, I think like 3 hours, the pain started coming. So the pain was not even serious. The first procedure they did, the pain was not serious. The pain just started coming in small, but as someone that can endure pain to an extent, I was taking it in, thinking that nothing, I can do this. That was the first procedure. Then the second time, they were going to do the stuff 3 times or twice. I can't remember vividly now. She came for the second placement, or like the second insertion. She put that in and she was like, oh, that I was still 1 centimeter, that we hope that it progresses over time. Now it became real. It started becoming real. So I went from 1 to 3 centimeters with pain. So my husband was even sleeping. I'm going to call him out. So yes, he was sleeping. At this point too, he was just sleeping. So the contractions came in. I would stand up. I would walk about a bit to just, relieve, because I've heard that when you're having contractions, there are so many things you could do. You could be squeezing your hand. I tried everything. It was still making sense. I was still able to control it. I still knew what was going on at this point. So after the second procedure, I felt like using the toilet. I pressed the button, told the nurse that I wanted to use the toilet, and they're like, oh, fine, that's fine, as long as I don't feel awkward or anything. But going into the toilet, I felt, I've heard stories of people saying that, oh, that if you're in labor, that it will be as if you want to shit, but it's not shit. I'm like, hey, say, that inside toilet, I'm going to give birth to this child like this. But it felt like I was constipated, right? And then it wasn't coming out as fast as it should. But all of a sudden, my water broke. The feeling of that water breaking is, let me explain to you. The feeling is like you have a balloon and you pop the balloon. Imagine a balloon inside of you and then the balloon pops. The balloon with water inside of you and then the balloon pops. That was how it felt. And then there I knew that things were getting real, because it went from 0 to, like, at this point, maybe 0 to 60, maybe 0 to 40%. That 40% alone is a lot. It went from 0 to 40. And immediately I came out, I told my husband that, oh, that this that happened. I think my water broke and all those things. So we pressed the button, we told them, they're like, oh, that they would check. They found out that, oh yes, that my water broke. And then contractions started coming in. I started feeling pain more. This was no Braxton Hicks. This was no false labor. This was real pain. And this was like, if you're a lady here, this was like you. I'm not trying to scare you, right? I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just preparing your mind. This is like your normal cramps. If you're someone that have cramps during menstrual period, these are like your normal cramps times like 3 times 3 at this point. This was like, it's maybe your normal cramps doubled. This was what it was at this point. And at this point, I didn't know. And then I had to ask for, there's this gas that you are able to use if you don't want to take like pain relief or anything. There's a gas that they said that helps for pain and all that. So I took that gas. After I took the gas for a while, I just threw up. Like I told you I had jollof rice, everything just came out, and then everything started moving fast. Even the nurses. So when I threw up, we pressed the button again. They came and then they checked. My husband was even trying to apologize that I just went from lying down, rolling to throwing up, and then the lady was like, oh no, it's fine, that it happened, that it's expected, that it was probably because my body reacted to the gas that I was taking, that I inhaled, so my body wasn't sitting too well with it. So they were asking the level of pain. I told them that this was what I was feeling. Or they're like that at that point they were like, they didn't think I was in labor. But then when the midwife came, she checked, she was like, oh, that was already 4 centimeters. No, at this point she was like, I was already 45 centimeters. And then she was like, so she checked the charts, and then she was like, oh no, that this is progressing so fast. So they said, oh, that they needed to move me downstairs. At this point, my contractions were getting very stronger. They were getting stronger. The pain was getting to my head. It was getting to my brain. I could not see anything. Not like I was blind, but I could not think of anything. I could not see anything. This is why before you go into labor, right? Praying in that moment, praying in labor. If you are someone that you're able to, if you prayed while you're in labor, kudos to you. But praying in labor might not be visible. The best thing you might want to do is, that was why I told you that before I went into labor, when I was at home, when I was having my bath, I already sent words ahead, so that I was just going into those words and make and work in the manifestations of those words. Because praying in labor, you might not be able to do it. Because you have so many things going on. You're feeling this pain. You're trying to listen to what the nurse is saying. You're trying to not you're trying to not let the pain not to get overwhelmed by the pain. So many things were going on. And afterwards, they moved me downstairs. They took me. At this point, the pain was so much. Ha! Like, see me even thinking about it, the pain was so much. And at this point, I was just 6, and I was like, I was going to 10. If this is 6, what will 10 be like? Or even 9? Because once you're 9, you would most likely be on 10. Once you're 9, you most likely go to 10 fast. 6, and I was feeling like this. My God, I was already rethinking my decision. I was like, hey, should I not have just done cesarean session or something? Like, this pain is too much. This pain, I cannot bear this pain. I remember them taking me downstairs, and I had to move from a bed to another, and then they were like, I had to come down from that bed and walk into the next bed by myself. I told the midwife I could not. She said, no, that you can't, that you have to, that you should try. And all that, I held that. You see, the moment I came down from that bed and I went down, it felt like I stood up. It felt like the baby wanted to come. The contraction was so hard. I squeezed the nurse. I squeezed the hand so hard that even she would have felt that your hand is too strong. I just hope I didn't hurt her in any way or the other. She was like, it's fine. It's okay, darling. It's okay, darling. You can do this. It's okay. And then I walked in from the bed to the bed that they wanted me to be, and I was there. So they had to put everything back on. They had to like monitor BP, everything, put everything. And then there I was already saying that I wanted epidural. Because I already said I didn't want to do epidural. I didn't want to have a cesarean. Not for anything, just like personal reasons. I didn't want to do epidural. I didn't want to take epidural. I didn't want to have a cesarean session for personal reasons, right? And then I was already rethinking that, would I not, if I wanted to, I asked if I wanted to have a cesarean session, or would it be possible? They're like, no, they were like, oh, they would have to check the doctors on call. Okay, I'm like, okay, what if I wanted to just get epidural? They're like, oh, that the doctors would have to check. Like, that means that I had to, like, there was like a list already that they would have to put me on the list and all those things, and I was still going in pain. I was like, that they should just do something. This pain was too much. They're like, do I want paracetamol? I think they said, do I want paracetamol with, was it steroid? There was something for the pain, and when I had steroid or something, I said I didn't want that. I didn't want to do that. They should just give me paracetamol. They gave me high dose of paracetamol, thinking that the pain would go, but it didn't go. The pain was still there. The pain was still there. The pain was so much. The pain was so much. Labor pain is a lot. Thinking about it now, labor pain is a lot. Especially if you are having a vaginal birth. The pain. I can't speak from a perspective of someone that had this, that has CS. I know people that had CS, and I've heard their stories too. There's no easy way out. Whether you want to have vaginal birth or you want to have, there is no easy way out. That pain you experience, either during labor or after, there is no easy way out. Just know it, right? It's just whatever you're able to do, just do it. You can't say you want to have CS because you don't want to go through pain. You can't say you want to have vaginal birth because you don't want to go through pain. Both of them do have pain in it. You would experience the pain, both of them. Now, I'm not doing this to scare anybody. I'm just doing this to prepare your mind, right? Because I feel that one of the things that helped me was I watched a lot of videos and I saw people speak of how they felt. So one way or the other, I had like a mental picture of what the pain was. But not until when you enter it, when you're in that position, you don't know what that pain is, how that pain could be, how that pain would feel. You wouldn't know until you're in it. So my husband had already called my sister that I was already going into labor, that they were taking me downstairs into the labor room and all that she should come. My sister was like that she just hold on, that she would soon be there, blah blah blah. She came in, and then when she came, I remember that I was squeezing her hand. I was telling her that no, that this is painful. I was squeezing her hand and I tell her that it is painful. She would tell me that, she would be telling me, squeeze it. So I wasn't even squeezing my husband's hand or anything. It was my sister's hand that I was squeezing, because she was the one that sat beside me. My husband was just like he was the one talking to the nurses and all that. I would squeeze her hand. She would like, squeeze it. That's sorry. Bele, it is well. Bele, it is well. And I was like, oh no, that this pain is too much. I'm like, no, it is too much. That I want epidural. She said, I know that the epidural. At this point, I wish that I actually have a video. She was like, oh, that I already said I didn't want epidural. I said, no, I can't take this pain anymore. I got to like 9 centimeters. They got everything ready. Then the midwife checked. So she has to check, the whole check-in. And then she was like, oh, that baby was coming soon. And then she checked and said, oh, that she's got a full hair. That she can't even see anything. Just the hair. That the hair, my baby's hair was filled everywhere. I'm like, okay, that's not why you're here. Make this baby come out and stop telling me that my baby has full hair. I mean, although I prayed for it, right? But this is not what I want. I want this baby out. I want this pain to reduce. And then she was like, oh, okay, so we are going to start pushing. That she should tell me when to push. So the first push I did, I screamed. I like, no, that she wouldn't take that. I shouldn't do that. That I should not use my energy to just scream. That I should not scream, but like use the energy instead to push. She told me when to push, and she's like, that instead of scream, I should like groan instead. So I did that. I groaned, and then I think after three pushes, after three push, my baby came out, and I felt so relieved. I felt so relieved. The relief is like, I don't know what to compare it with, but I felt so relieved. You see, the contractions you faced in your when you're 1 centimeter, when you're 4 centimeter, is different from the contraction you face when you're 6. The level of pain of contraction for 6 is different from the level of pain for 9. The level of pain from 9 is different from the level of pain for 10. That's how painful it is. That's how painful the contractions went. And then voila, baby came out, and then she was like, oh, that is not done, that I still have to do another push. I'm like, wait, another push for what? And then she's like, oh, that I have to push out the placenta. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then she told me that, that the next contraction I feel that I should just push out the placenta. And then the placenta came out, and then everything, I felt so relieved. I had a couple of tears, right? Which afterwards they had to like sew it up, and so yeah. I hope I've not bored you with my labor and delivery video or my labor and delivery process. I know that it would have been more interesting if I had videos for you to actually see my expressions on how I did, but I'm sorry I don't have that. But one thing I do have, I have when my baby came out, I have when my first skin to skin, my husband carrying her, and yes, he did share a tear. I saw one little tear. You people should let me know. I'm going to post the video. Let me know if you people also found the tear, because till now he still denies I did not cry. The tear is there. He cried. I did not cry. I didn't cry. I mean, I don't know, but I just did not cry. Right? I just did not cry. So yeah, that's my long story of my labor and my delivery. And then if you are a pregnant woman out there and you are scared and they've told you that you're going to have induction, don't be scared. It's just, what induction does is just to fasten the old process, right? If you're lucky enough, it would even expedite the whole thing. It will make you go into labor faster, and your contractions will come sooner and all those things. Don't be scared. And if whatever decision you decide, if you want to have a cesarean section or you want to have vaginal birth, don't be scared, right? All way in our way. What we want is for our child to come, and we're able to carry our child in our hands, and we're able to thank God for it, right? So please just put your mind at rest. Everything will work out fine. Don't forget, everything is working together in your favor. If you're a believer here, don't forget to make declarations, make affirmations of what you want your labor and delivery to be. I remember all through my pregnancy, I know I said that all through my pregnancy, one thing I did very well was making affirmations, standing with the word of God. The word of God never fails. Stand with those words, make those affirmations from beginning to the end. Words go ahead of you. And the word of the Lord said, none of his words shall return back to him void. So whatever you said that you want to say are the things that you'd say. I've seen it happen. It happened. Whatever you say you want to say, if you say that you want to have a fast delivery, you would have it. If you say you want to have this, you would have it, right? Just have faith, and then just trust God for the process. So thank you guys for watching today's video. I know this video is long and it might not be as interesting as you expected, but thank you if you watched to this point. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share, and see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Wow. Nice to see you.